You can't make the same mistake the Rams made, or you're going to wreck your Super Bowl chances.
But hold on, who said it was a mistake?
I did. I'm saying it.
Oh, my goodness.
Or we've got the Charles Robinson piece that you referred to on Yahoo, and to go more specifically into quotes, these are anonymous quotes. This is a veteran contract advisor. Teams with running backs hate that Gurley deal. It's in their heads. Now other franchises are trying to get it under control and roll back salaries.
Okay.
It's lunacy what the Rams did. This is the contract advisor. He says, it comes down to whether some teams believe the Rams did a bad deal with Todd. Then it's whether you have the guts, he didn't say guts, to say, we're not even going to consider that a real bar in these negotiations. Okay, so that's out there. Every NFL team with a good running back is saying, we can't do that.
Yeah, but how many of those teams have a good run? Now, Skip, if you got Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, you can say, hell no, I'm not giving you that kind of money. But what happens when you don't have those guys?
Well, then you don't have this problem.
Exactly. Since you don't have one of those guys, you've got that problem.
So you just told me, making my case, that the Patriots don't have a Todd Gurley, but they just won the Super Bowl because they mixed and matched a rookie and a veteran and another veteran, right?
The thing is, what Tom Brady has done for the last 14, 15 years is that he's taking less money so Coach Belichick can sprint it around and get a defensive guy here and an offensive guy there. Okay, that's Tom Brady. I'm not worried about what Tom Brady's doing. I've got to worry about what Shannon Sharp is doing. So Ezekiel Elliott says, I can't worry about what Tom. I can't worry about the discount this guy gave over here or he gave over there. I'm talking about me and my value to the team, because I know this. In the 8 games that I've missed, you are a 500 team with me out of the lineup. That's fact.
You're missing the point.
That is the point.
If you're speaking for Zeke, I'm telling Zeke, you're missing the point. Jerry Jones, for the first time ever in his Friday media session that opened camp, spoke a little cold-bloodedly of Ezekiel Elliott. He just said he's a non-report. He just dismissed him. He's a non-report.
Yeah.
That's it, period. You're going to find him, Jerry? The CBA allows me to find him, and we will consider that going forward.
So why didn't he just go, yeah? He should have said, hell yeah. He's under contract. He's a no-show. Hell yeah, I'm going to find him. That's all he had to say.
What play about 4 different times during this media session did Jerry Jones refer to, please? Jenny was at this game. Jenny jinxed me at this game, but that's okay. I forgive her for this. It was right here in Los Angeles at the Coliseum, and it became 4th and 1 at the Rams' 35-yard line. First play of the 4th quarter. My coaches had the whole commercial break before the 4th quarter to figure out a play. And they're thinking,
he was clapping.
I guess we better. He's
exactly.
He's clapping for Zeke, right?
You're clapping.
And he's thinking, let's just give it to Zeke and let him make his own hole right up the middle, right?
Yep.
It's 23-15 Rams at this point, and my team is driving for what could be the tying touchdown, or at least to come within a point of the Rams. And we got a ball game. And where does Zeke go on 4th down? He goes nowhere slowly. He goes for a 0. And in this game, just for the record, he went 20 carries for a grand total of 47 yards. The butter, what else did you call him? The
engine.
The engine.
Yeah.
He goes 20 for 47, and that included one 15-yard game. So if let's eliminate the 15 yards. He went 19 for 32. That's 1.7 yards per try in 19 tries. That's the engine, and it sputtered against the Rams.
Skip, but what happened is that I believe Wade Phillips says, I refuse to let you run the ball. If you look at If you look at the Super Bowl, they did an outstanding job on Tom Brady.
Thank you.
They were listen to me, Skip, because they were playing coverage. But what happened at the expense of that? You had Sonny Michel, and you had these guys going for almost 200 yards. So you have to give up something. I believe every defensive coordinator goes into the game, says, I want to stop 2-1. And if number 4 can throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns and they win, I'll shake his hand at center field. But I don't believe that's how defensive coordinators think. They don't think that Dak Prescott is the guy.
Here's what Jerry Jones is thinking. He loves his quarterback. I love his quarterback. He knows that the better long-term bet is that quarterback, Dak Prescott.
Yes.
Dak Prescott has missed 0 games in his career. He's durable.
That's the thing. You know Zeke plays a more back.
What happened against the Rams that night? The Rams ran wild on my defense.
Yeah.
I didn't
So why
see
did
it
you give
coming.
DeMarcus Lawrence that money?
Just remember, it was 36 minutes time of possession for the Rams to only 24 for my Cowboys. What did my quarterback do in only 24 minutes of time of possession?
Not much.
He went 20 of 32 for 266, a touchdown and no interceptions. He had a QBR of 84. And by the way, he led the playoffs with QBR. He had an 84 there to Jared Goff's 57. So he completely outplayed Jared Goff that night.
No, he didn't.
And Jerry Jones knows it.
Skip, but here's the thing. For a large chunk of that game, the Cowboys were behind by 2 touchdowns. So you keep telling me what Dak did his ultimate numbers, when they absolutely needed him the most, he was unable to provide answers.
So let's look at Tom Brady's Super Bowl versus Dak Prescott's playoff game here against the Rams and Wade Phillips' defense on his home field.
Correct.
Right? So Dak has a QBR of 84. Tom had similar numbers, 21 of 35 for 262, but no touchdowns and 1 interception. Tom Brady had a QBR of 26. Dak had 84 to Tom Brady's 26. You don't think Jerry Jones is aware that against Wade Phillips' defense, that Dak put on a show? It was highly impressive. I told you that the Monday after that game. My quarterback played his tail off in that game.
Skip, I believe, knowing Wade Phillips like I do, and I've known Wade for 25 years, he approached this game differently. His job was like, look, I'm getting after Tom Brady. In the game against the Rams, he says, I'm stopping Ezekiel Elliott.
The Patriots have been running the ball like crazy all year long. They led the whole playoffs in rushing.
But you know what, Skip? I would rather the ball be in Sonny Michel's hand than Tom Brady's hand. And if he's handing it off to Burkhead, if he's handing it off to those running backs, what else does that mean? He's not throwing it to Gronk. He's not throwing it to Edelman. If you notice in the first half...
I thought you said Tom Brady was overrated.
Oh, my God.
Well, you have. You've made that case.
Can I finish my point?
Sure, try.
If you look at the first half, you look at what they were doing. Sonny Michel was not as effective in the first half as he was the second half, because then they said, look, we got to shut down Tom Brady. They started playing coverage. Well, you start playing coverages, you get that 8th guy at the box. Now Sonny Michel can run the ball. Now Burkhead can run the football. He went into that game and says, I refuse to let Zeke Elliott run the ball. And you know what, Dallas Cowboys? You know what, Skip Bayless, Jerry Jones, Jason Garrett? Your quarterback can't beat me. And they were absolutely
Well, he almost
correct.
did. And he would have.
I don't know about almost.
He would have if Jared Goff hadn't run for 19 yards on 3rd and 5.
The only place I've ever found almost is in the dictionary. I ain't finding when you play sports, almost isn't good enough.
That's good.
Well, that means they should cut Carson Wentz because he.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Out of nowhere.
There you go. Carson
Wentz.
Wentz ain't got nothing to do with this. We're going to talk about him a little later.
Came in second. They lost twice to Dak Prescott.
Carson Wentz got a Super Bowl ring.
He does?
He got a Super Bowl ring.
And he did what?
He won 13 games.
Yeah.
That's what he do.
Take any snaps in those playoffs?
He did. You asked, what did he do?
Nick Foles has a Super Bowl ring, and he plays for the Jaguars.
He secured home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Your guy did that his rookie year. And then what happened? Oh, Aaron Rodgers came in there and took it away.
Well, you tell me Aaron Rodgers is transcendent, the greatest thrower of the football ever.
Yep.
And it still came down to 2 cross-country field goals, right?
On your home court.
Luckiest field goals.
No, but you remember that week leading up to it? You did all that talking, how he went up to Lambeau Field and he outplayed Aaron Rodgers, and I can see this happening all over again.
And all he did was throw for 303 touchdowns. I don't know.
Hey.
Have a QBR of 80.
He ain't do better than A-Rod. A-Rod was doing it.
So speaking of QBRs, my quarterback has 18 QBRs in his 3 years over 80. No quarterback's got that. 18 over 80? That's
Well, if you
unbelievable.
digging and dacking.
No quarterback has ever had a higher completion percentage in his first 3 years than Dak Prescott. In the last 3 years, Dak has led this league in game-winning drives. Jerry Jones knows where the bread is buttered.
Okay.
It's buttered with the quarterback.
So, Skip, why?
So right now, the priority is getting the quarterback done.
Okay.
And I'm here to predict in the next couple of weeks, certainly before camp ends, they will get the quarterback signed, and then they will try to figure out the running back. But the running back is going to have to be more realistic than Todd Gurley.
He's absolutely realistic. If I'm Zeke, if all Jerry got to do is say, the hell with Zeke. I'm not doing any contract. He's going to play under the number that he signed for, or he's not going to play at all. That's all he got to do. And let Zeke sit back and do the same thing Emmitt Smith. After the first 2 weeks, he'll be groveling. He'd be glad to give $10 million more than what Todd Gurley got.
Really? That will not happen.
Groveling.
Jerry is
begging
not stupid.
He gonna be begging Zeke to take his money.
You're begging because it's your only hope.
Well, what
you need
hope?
Jerry to wreck his whole cap for Ezekiel Elliott, and then you need Zeke at some point to just crumble and fade away.
No.
Like most running backs do.
No, but therein lies why he needs to get his money. Skip, he saw what they did to DeMarco Murray. They ran him into the ground, and they squeezed all the juice out the lemon. Well, nobody wants to eat the inside of, all the juice out of the orange. And then they threw it in the trash. No, Zeke said
How
no.
much juice was left in Todd Gurley's orange at the end of the year last year?
We're gonna see what happened this year.
Are we?
I bet he get over 1,200 rushing.
Arthritic knee.
Stop trying to put bad mouth on him. Even
I'm
more,
not putting bad. I'm just
Jenny,
reciting a fact.
Even more reason why Zeke should get his money, because he never know when them knees gonna go out on him. Give me that bread.
Well,
Pro
guys,
Football Focus, highly respected.
I don't care nothing about no
Pro
folks.
Football Focus ranked Zeke's year last year as the 8th best running back.
Oh, so now
Jerry knows.
Oh, I thought
Jerry
you
knows.
would have
So hold
problem
on.
with that.
When Pro Football Focus ranked Zeke at 18th, you had a problem with that ranking. Now they rank Zeke at 8, and it's the gospel.
I'm just saying Jerry knows what the numbers say.
Okay.
What the numbers scream.
And Jerry also knows the number. It's been a quarter of a century since I held a Lombardi. Jerry knows that number
Knows
too.
that too. Guys, Tom Brady may not have a running back like Zeke, but he does have a birthday coming up. Is he better than ever? We'll discuss that next. Don't forget, you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports Channel on SiriusXM. We're talking about Tom when we come back.